with revenue sharing coming to college football pretty soon. I mean, so many court things happening. I can't keep up with it, but it sounds like it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you preparing for that to come? You know, I know there's you're going to have a salary cap now, and it's going to be more like the NFL than anything. And you have to decide how are you going to manage that money with your team. You know, how have you and coach together kind of prepared for that to come to fruition?
Because it's something that is coming and not here right now. It's interesting because I don't think we know exactly what it's going to look like in terms of these are the exact rules. You wish you knew this was the game that you're playing. So right now you're putting together several different contingencies. Hey, if there's a salary cap and it functions this way, this is how we're going to operate. If there's a version of the salary cap and it's gets litigated and maybe it's not quite as fully stringent on this is the cap, this is how we're going to operate. And you have to function in today's world planning as if both could potentially be possible and try to make sure you stay within the limits of where you think it could be, while at the same time trying to stretch those limits in case there is more resources available.
Yeah. Have you had to have conversations with general managers, maybe even like in the NFL, and get advice from people, or just hear how other organizations are doing it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of idea sharing right now. Obviously, it's a very competitive sport and industry, so there's a limit to what that idea sharing is. But we've gone around to different NFL teams this season. During the season, kind of went around and visited with a number of different teams. Have a group of guys in the industry that kind of are in similar roles that talk to a lot about, hey, how are you handling this situation? How are you handling that situation? Obviously, you're not giving away top secret stuff, but at the same time, it's good to understand, hey, this is the way that they're looking at this situation, and maybe we're looking at it a little bit differently, and you can kind of learn from each other that way.
I remember, I don't know where I saw it, where I heard it, but someone in this program when I was here, maybe it was a sign on the wall, used to say, "We're not just acquiring talent; we're building a team." I think that was it. That was you guys.
It was in the old staff room.
Yeah. So, and I always thought about that, and then thought about what it means from like an evaluation standpoint for you guys, and how you're evaluating players, and how it's not always just about skill and length and speed. It's about a lot of other things too. What's that evaluation process like for you and your recruiting staff when you're looking for players that fit the mold here at Penn State?
Yeah, I'll take it even a step further. Not only are you building a team, you're building a program.
Yeah.
And so in today's world, you could look at it from the standpoint of, hey, we're just building a team for this coming year, and you could make some decisions that might hurt yourself down the line. I think it's important to kind of look at it holistically and say, hey, we are building a team for this year, but we're also trying to make sure that we continue things going into the future. In terms of what we're looking for someone who has everything. Now, with that said, you want tall, long, fast, physical, great football character, great personal character, great family support system around them. But the reality is, God didn't give everybody everything. And so you're trying to figure out within that, what are the things that will work within our program that we can maybe this area, he doesn't have to fit exactly the way we want, but he's got enough of these other things to make it work. Speed obviously is a starting point from a physical standpoint, but long and physical, guys that love football, and it's probably more important than ever that guys love football, that it's important to them. And in that, also for us here at Penn State, that they're searching for success in everything. Because if it's just purely about football, it's probably not the place for them, because we're going to have expectations for them in the classroom. We're going to have expectations for them in the community that if they just want to do it on the football field, it's probably not going to work so well.